When your nervous system is overburdened by internalized shame, it will feel like the more you're yourself, the worse your life is going to get. And if you could just figure out how to not be quite so you, your life would get better. And let me break this down from a nervous system perspective. First of all, this is really sad. I lived this way for 14 years that I can really remember, where every single night going to bed, I would have this heaviness in my chest and this dread in my stomach because I felt like being me made everybody not want to be around me. And I felt like if I liked somebody, I felt bad for liking them because that was gross. And internalized shame creates this honestly over-personalization of your experience of reality, where because you are you, that is why life is challenging. Because you are you, that is why you have health problems. Because you are you, that is why people don't want to be your friend, or whatever it is. But it is this over-personalization because shame hits us at the level of our identity, and it's very different than other emotional experiences, which is why it's so sticky and it can cause so much shutdown and freeze in the body. And that's your nervous system that causes the freeze. And specifically for women, internalized shame causes a lot of pelvic freeze specifically, which is why one of my mentors calls it shameflammation, is one of the contributors to a lot of things like PMDD, PCOS, and a lot of pelvic issues. And this is why, quite literally, any single program that I ever run, any live space that I hold, we always make room to do de-shaming work, which is where we come into contact with the shame-based patterns in your body and we lovingly challenge the shame-based narratives that exist. Like, if I am more myself, my life will get worse. And I would say for me that choosing to be an entrepreneur has been the fastest track to see where shame shows up in my life, because when you are creating something, a business, if you're doing a home renovation project, if you want to get pregnant and give birth to a child, but you are stuck in shame, it is going to feel like nothing that you do is good enough, or that you are wrong for wanting it. And what a lot of women describe, and this has been my experience after doing fundamental de-shaming work and really learning what it is like to uncouple shame from things like action, consistency, and motivation and discipline, and to also uncouple shame from their own somatic experience of their own bodies just in general, or to uncouple shame in their relationship with their pelvis. A lot of women, number one, their physical posture actually straightens and lightens and lifts, because shame causes a lot of kind of like tail tucked under. Think of like a dog being ashamed of your tail tucking under. And it causes a lot of compression and stress on the spine. And also there is this psychosomatic lightness that is able to land and be sustained in your body when you are not fundamentally operating from shame. It doesn't mean that you're never going to experience shame again. I think that we all will go through cycles of experiencing shame throughout our lifetime, but there is a place that you get to when you do enough of the somatic work and you really devote yourself to it, where you are not fundamentally rooted in shame anymore. And the lightness and the fluidity and the way that you're able to actually access consistency and action and mobilization in your life becomes way fucking easier, way easier, even when you're in your luteal phase. I see internalized shame as this massive epidemic because at the end of the day, the things that do make us the most unique are the things that we are truly meant to offer the world. And of course, these are the things that we tend to have the most shame around. And so what I see, what I've felt in my life and with all of the women that I work with, when they start to see whether it is their intensity, their creativity, their desire to be a mom after thinking that they wanted to have a career their whole life, literally whatever it is, it's like those little desires, those little whispers, those little parts of yourself that you can't quite kind of like keep pressed down. That is where you need to do the majority of your de-shaming work. And when you actually lift that bracing in your body around these desires and these expressions of yourself, that is actually when your life gets so much better. You will make more money. You will be healthier. You will have better relationships. You'll be able to travel more if that's what you want. Your home renovation project is going to feel like such a beautiful expression of your creation, as opposed to, oh my God, am I decorating my house the right way? And what I am so excited for so many women to come into contact with is also how de-shaming fundamentally changes your relationship to action, consistency, and discipline. Because two things. Number one, you realize that the way that you have been taught to engage in these things is based on male physiology and being in a body that is a lot more linear. Works for men, does not work for us. We are inherently cyclical. Your nervous system changes with each phase of your cycle, and you need to learn how to, number one, be okay with that, because most women hold a lot of shame around being cyclical. So we need to de-shame that. And then number two is, once some more of that fundamental kind of stickiness is out of your system, or you've been able to alchemize it, now you will feel so much more confident in your ability to be consistent over an extended period of time. So you're going to have a lot more trust that you today, you next week, you in a year from now is going to be able to stay committed to your gym routine, to the way you want to show up in mother, to the way that you want to clean your house, literally whatever it is. And this is what I call having access to healthy hustle, which is where we're able to hustle and work hard, because I think men and women are both supposed to be able to do that. But as women, we've been taught to do that at the expense of our body, our physiology, our mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. And so healthy hustle is the opposite of that is being able to access healthy mobilization, arousal, and activation in the nervous system in a way that is cyclical and in a way that is reciprocal and nourishing to you instead of depleting for you. And this is also the name of my new program that I'm launching. And I think there's only 8 spots left as of checking at the moment that I'm posting this video. It's my first cohort that I'm running. It is specifically for women who want to move through this transformation of uncoupling shame from action, consistency, and discipline so that they can have easier access to mobilization in a way that actually feels good and not depleting for them.